As a screen printer, you got ink on your hands, you got shirts going on press, you got to keep your shop clean, got to keep your team happy, and you got to make money doing it. So the last thing you want to worry about is how to figure out to decorate the new shirt that you just got, or the worst thing is decorate them and have them fail, whether it's dye migration or the discharge results not going out well. So the ultimate guide to decoration is going to help you do just that. The cool thing is, with partnership with MadeLab and Allmade, we were able to take all the testing results that MadeLab does for Moor and make them completely public, telling you exactly how a shirt decorates, via discharge, dye migration results, and how to get that on press, whether to use low bleed, low blocker inks, whether you use discharge or no discharge, whether to use a cotton white if it has ghosting issues. There are several issues that happen in garment decoration all day long in your shop. And if you know how to test for those results before and what to look for, you don't have problems after you get done printing. Let's go through a couple of those. Polyester. Polyester has dye migration issues, meaning that if your polyester is dyed, after it gets heated up, that dye is going to go into the ink. And if you have dark polyester and light ink, that light ink is going to turn the dark color of the shirt. So how do you know? First of all, look at the content of your shirt. Is your polyester dyed or not? Often Heather shirts have polyester in them, but they're not dyed. Or how is it dyed? Is it dyed a super dark color, or is it dyed a lighter color? You can do a dye migration test on any polyester shirt to know exactly how it's going to dye migrate on press. We have a cool video and a cool blog on how that works at madelab.io. Once you have your test results, you know, should I use a blocker for really bad dye, like camo polyester shirts? Should I use a low bleed ink that has some dye migration issues, or should I just use a standard cotton white? Because if you use a standard cotton white or HSA or water-based, who cares, right? Ink's cheaper and you have better results, rather than having to print with a poly or a thick low bleed ink. Second thing that often happens is ghosting. Ghosting is harder to test for, and what happens with ghosting is if you are using those low bleed or poly inks and you hot stack your shirts coming off the dryer, the ink actually changes the color of the shirt behind it. So shirt goes down, it's hot, you stick another shirt on top, that's called hot stacking. If you have the wrong ink and your pigments or your dyes in your shirt have ghosting issues, it's going to leave a reverse image of that design on the back of the shirt, and you don't want that. The easiest way to avoid that is cotton white. This is why you don't want just one ink in your shop, and this is also why you want to know if your shirt needs a low bleed ink, because if your shirt doesn't need a low bleed ink, why even run into the issue of ghosting at all, because you could just use a cotton white or an HSA. The other thing you want to test for is discoloration by heat, and that really has to do with your flash and dryer settings. If some fabrics, some synthetic fabrics, some natural cellulose fabrics like rayon or Mernal are a little bit more sensitive to heat. So for those fabrics, you need to make sure that you read those recommendations prior, you follow the manufacturer's guide, and you don't go through the dryer at 400 degrees because your shirt is going to shift in color or scorch. And the final thing is your discharge ratings. So with discharge ratings, every pigment, every dye, and every type of fabric blend discharges slightly differently. So for instance, blues, even though they're on cotton, which is a natural fiber, all natural fibers will discharge, all synthetic fibers will not discharge. Blues don't discharge that well. So knowing those discharge results or doing a small test swatch, if you don't have those discharge results from your manufacturer, gives you what's gonna happen on press before you actually do it and ruin a bunch of shirts or have to change the ink on press. So get it Allmade, we have all the guides, the how-to, what to do, what not to do, what inks to use, and what temperatures to use published in our decoration recommendations. So definitely check those out at allmade.com. Hope you learned something, and test is the best practice.